Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to the HST Farewell Pack by Grumpdog Games. We're on Great Western Express Remastered, and we're going to be going from here at Paddington down to Reading. As always, Hoodless run for me today. Thought we'd have a little look at it. This isn't probably the most mega world-endingly amazing pack, but it's not meant to be. In the chair we go. Key on the desk. Reverse it to neutral. Cut in both my safety systems. Charge my brake to hold step. GSMR register. We've got the road already, which is fun and games. Hood, that should be set just because it should have been set in at the cab. And DR headlights today, and we'll step outside. Yep, that's set correctly. So this is part of the Grumpdog Games, like say, HST pack. You can see we've got Sir Kenneth Grange here. Lovely 3D nameplate. Bit dirty, bit weathered, but I'll take it. 40 years the HST, of course. The guards compartment on 43002. This actually got like Great Western Railway, like decals on the windows here. How do I know? This is in the National Railway Museum. So this is the first production HST power car. And that's why I wanted to run it today. It's the first one, yeah. Shut the door, in the chair. Just going to double check. I unlocked the doors. Oh well, we're going light. Yeah, just checking. So it's going to be about a minute. Right, I'm going to get up my. This is houses for Urks. So, from 76 to 25, the famed HST ruled the Western region from capital to coast, and in their waning years carried special schemes as they bowed out of mainland duty and shuttled across the English Riviera. In Trains and World relived the final days of the HSTs in England with the GWR HST Farewell Pack from Grumpdog Games. So this loco didn't actually make it onto the castle sets that were running the 43002, but it did, like I say, it was one of the last HSTs to leave Paddington. So, there go the doors. And there we go, engine step power step 3. Amps increase. And there we go. Oops, forgot to turn my hood off there. But yeah, start speed is 40, so the hood gave away. And our first stop, just double checking, it's Reading. So departing under a green aspect. Just leave it in step 3. There we go. Away we go. So yeah, I've noticed the GSMR registers as a wildcard, doesn't register at signal you're at, so we were again signal 015, and it registered using signal 998, which would be a wildcard. Do you also try to point out, because Great Western Remastered, blue. Although we're on a fully green set, which is a shame. Because they never, at least it felt like they were never just, very few of them were fully green. So it was green with a few blue coaches in it. Blue. I'm just going to coast. The line speed actually increases here, but we'll just stay at our current speed and just watch the signals for now. Or I'll say stay at our current speed, we'll just coast it in for a bit. I'll coast it about. Back under a green aspect, but very gradual, so I'll go 1, 2, 50 miles an hour line speed. Hello HST. Full blue one. It's quite nice. Actually, it would have been nice to add more consists. So you know, I always felt like there was some were fully blue, one or two were fully green, but most sort of were mixed. So we've got a green with a feather. So that means we're diverging right. We were probably, that HST that we crossed with the blue one, that was probably blocking us crossing over. I'm going to stay at 40 because I believe it's either 40 or 50 for this changeover. There's no speed limit signs posted, so I'm assuming it's a 50. Yep. I'll wait until we... Yeah, we'll go with the 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Full power now. So brakes fully off, confirmed. Throttle's fully opened. Let's give it beans. So we are now in a 100 limit. Well, we are once we pass that, but we're not going to get to 50 full. Yeah, we overtake this fully. Behind us, the bridge we went under, that's a Mighty Bridge. That is the legal line of the southern region, but also that's the West London line, so we've been up there many a time in the sim. No, I'm lying to you. Am I? Possibly. No, that's, yeah, Mighty Bridge is back that way. No, I was lying to you. This is Mighty Bridge. Apologies. So that's the West London line right there. I don't know what that other one was. Ooh, that feels like that crane wasn't there previously. GWR green. And a little turbo rushing in. So yes, let's have a look at continue looking at the train here. So the HST is a true veteran of the rails from its standout design, record-breaking speed to its multi-million mile service. Having operated over nearly 50 years, however, their time in England has come to pass, with the likes of the Class 802 taking their place. Yes, these were predominantly replaced by IETs, but also Class 180s on Grand Central. In Train Sim World 6, the Grumpdog Games GW HST Farewell Pack celebrates the HST and adds additional gameplay across Great Western Express Remastered and Riviera Line, playing a part in the unveiling of 43093 at Old Oak Common Open Depot Day. I'll be the first driver who's taken 43002 into Paddington for the first time. That's a bit too many firsts. So we are... My notes literally read that the 1-2 is halfway down Acton Yard. This is Acton Yard. So we're Gucci for 125 running. Love the variety of wagons again in the yard there. And pick your poison as you choose which of the Fan London departures you wish to drive. That's quite cool. Down in the West Country, operate additional traffic to support the local air show. Help out a standard train in need, and recreate the very last HST display at Plymouth before their final departure. Key features: Class 43 HST power cars in multiple liveries, 43002 Sir Kenneth Grange, 43093 with Order Common decals, 43185 in Intercity Swallow livery, 43187 and 43188 with Silver Ekimro the Welshman brandings, 43188 Geraint Thomas in GWR Green with revised Silver and Gold Ekimro, Standard GWR Green with vinyl GWR logos. That's good, that's something we're missing. Standard GWR Green with no logos. So that's the retirement branding on them. Oh, picking up a bit of rain. Don't need the wipers yet, so I'm gonna turn them on. BR Mark 1 translator coaches, a coach in weathered blue livery. HST Mark 3 coaches in GWR plain blue liveries. So GWR and plain blue. A parity of features with GWE remastered HST updates. Accessible tutorial on the training centre. 3 scenarios each for Great Western Express remastered and Riviera line. Additional timetable services for each route playable on existing GWR HST services. As always, delivery, design, information designer, and scenario planner. Yeah, and then so it's $12.99 or $67.97 for Great Riviera on its own, Great Western Express on its own, and the HST. Honestly, I'm fine with it. It's at the end of the day, it's not. This isn't the be all and end all gameplay pack for me. However, I do think this is something that I quite like. Pro grade done liveries are good, right? However, the East Coast Rail Tour pack, that was not pro grade. That was horrific. That was bad. But that was bad. As we go past West Coast Southall. Bit of blurriness on the units on the wagons there, sorry. But yes, like I say, overall, what do I think? I like them. So this is the one I've driven. I've not driven the others so far, but the quality of the texturing is great. No mega issues with it. 3D nameplates, we like a 3D nameplate. It's real. It's based off real life. It's not just a work of fiction. East Coast Rail Tour pack, like that. $12.99 probably a bit more than I'd like to pay for it. I'd probably have liked to see maybe a little bit of a discount if you already own something. I don't know what. But other than that, the thing is, so $12.99 is probably what it costs, right? In terms of like the development time and all those sorts of shenanigans. However, I'm not sure. So this is me. So, as a TS Classic user, I don't think this adds $12.99 worth of value to my game. That's the way I look at it, because I'm probably not going to play it, quote unquote, that much extra. I think had this been part of Great Western Express Remastered, yeah, I'd have paid 15 quid for that. Or maybe even 20 quid for that, because at the end of the day, you're adding rolling stock, you're adding everything, and I'd have supported that. And that, I think, is probably my chief complaint here, is I think it probably should have been, or could have been, an easier sell if it was part of GWE remastered. But I still think, overall, if I consider them both together, it's worth it. And I think that's probably the way to look at it is, yeah, like I say, I think probably they should charge for the remaster of Great Western Express, because it is that thorough. East Coast Trail was just a new timetable, quote unquote, just. I feel like whenever someone says just, then it's always bad. But yeah. And they go into step 3 because we're at 125 now. Barely overtaken here. We'll watch it come through this station. Oh, HST cross. That horn feels very quiet. Yeah, it's still very quiet. Okay, that's giving me a bit of feedback. Horn quiet. Horn too quiet. Back it. Normally, the horn is startlingly loud. You know, like if I was in Edinburgh yesterday, turbo star pulled out, driver dipped the horn, dipped the horn, and I jumped. Right, it will start if you're not expecting it. But you know what? If horn too quiet is the only feedback I've got, that's a pretty good pack in my book. Ugh. Yeah, it's very light. It's pretty just a drizzle. 40 doesn't apply to us because we're not diverging. That was something I thought they patched. Slow. Shut the throttle fully now, let the amps fall off. It also feels like it revs quite a bit quicker than the AP HST. That's another bit of feedback. Again, I don't know who's right, but it's just a difference I've noticed. I do want to say as well, it does feel strange. So I was reaching a point where I felt like I'm actually going to be struggling for Train Sim World content soon, or Train Sim content in general, sorry, soon, because I've run out of new DLCs to look at, and I've driven all the old ones. And then a whole bunch of things came out literally at once. Because you had sort of the release madness for TSW, AP221, Thomas and Friends, and I'm like, and I've suddenly got things to do again. No, it's, obviously I do sometimes struggle to do train things after I've been at work on a train all day. But today I don't start for 4 hours, so thought I'd record this before I start. I was supposed to be starting in an hour, but I rang the manager this morning and went, hey, I can see you've got a load of stuff uncovered. What do you want me to do? And she called me her little light in the dark. Before you say anything, she's old enough to be my mum. No, at the end of the day, the way I sort of see my relationship with management, with on-track management, is it's a bit of give and take, and if I do them a bunch of favours, I can go in and say, hey, actually, can you do me a favour today? And also, um, the two guys going out on the train, I'm helping them today. Doing it into three people's is sucky. Doing it in two would just be rough. Like, there'd be no food bar for the passengers, so it's better that I'm there. Alright, 125 running coming up. 125 coming back up, sorry. Basically, we need to start thinking about slowing down in the not too distant future. We're back out of the rain, which is good. Well, I say something in the not too distant future, 10 miles to go still. that old Intercity 125 branding, the BR Blue, that is kind of timeless in a way, isn't it? What I like about it is the HST in that livery, for a long time, maybe until about 5 years ago, if you said to a British person, close your eyes and imagine an express train, that's what they've imagined. GWR 66. Not sure, I think that's a Freightliner job, but oh well. She's at GBRF. So I do have some reskin packs in. I am, of course, on the PC, so console users, you can't get that one specifically, but have a look on Creators Club, there's some decent stuff on there. It is just nice to have a bit more variety than just DB Red, DB, well, EWS DB, you know the vibe. Double amber, single amber next. Throttle off. Step on a brake going on. Just going to drag a bit of brake in, because I'm struggling to set the signals at distance today. I think I need to put my signal visuals mod back in. I had a TSW6 reinstall because I felt like I had too many mods in that I wasn't using. I've gone, ooh, that's a good mod, I'll download that. Never used it. Yeah, we'll stay in idle now at 100. Pulled off to a green. Outstanding. We'll give it a notch 4 for a bit. Bit of additional beansage. That's for diverging, and I pooed myself there. We're not crossing over onto the slows here. We're staying on the fast line. You can see we now come out from under our OLE extensions. And we're back out into the clear day again. It is sort of weird to me that this route would be without overheads. So obviously I work on the East Coast Main Line and we've got overheads everywhere. But it feels really old-fashioned actually, driving along without any OLE extensions. Feels like it could be like 40 years in the past though, you know what I mean? No idea what that magnet was for, but there's no platform start signal here, so... Double amber, single amber next. Power back off. So I got given a wasabi Kit Kat the other day, and I'm actually quite peckish because I've not eaten yet today. So I'm going to taste test it live on the channel for you faces. Because why the heck not? I've done my review segment here. So, wasabi Kit Kat. Doesn't smell any different, but it's obviously light green with like a pink interior. That's a badly sighted sign. It's the bit I've had. I'm tasting more of the white chocolate than I am the wasabi. It's got a hint of wasabi in there, but... So many magnets to reset here. What I'm looking for now, I'm just dragging the brake in step 1, is I am looking for a 95 post, because at that I slow down to 50. Yeah, 75 is low enough. There we go, we'll just put it right back down to 50 now. I'm also conscious that if I'm following a passenger service in, then it is highly likely that there we go, break off. If I'm going to be following it into a platform, so I might be held outside the station for a while. But there you go. That's the Great Western Express route with the Grumpdog HSTs. We'll do a proper, quick little dive in. So when we pull in, I'm going to quickly teleport over to Old Oak Common, and we're going to have a little look and just get them all out and have a look at them individually. Just so you can see what the deliveries are, because I know what they are, because I'm a train nerd. You may not be a train nerd, so I can't discriminate against you on grounds with that. But like I say, overall, we'll start with Kit Kat. Not as awful as I thought they would be. So if you've got a diverging signal and you're not 100% sure of the diverging speed, best thing you can do is get a slow down to 30 and approach nice and slowly. Get a swing across. What's that 66 got on the back over there? Ah, it's got a military one. Never actually seen that on an AI. There you go, look at that. It's a GBRF job again, that now. So there are some paths in that basically the MOD has that no one else can have off them on the Great Western. They normally are sort of for moving ammunition around, not so much for moving vehicles, but the vehicle wagons, I've not seen them used for about 6 or 7 years. Not saying they haven't been, but they normally sort of tend to get used to move army vehicles from one end of the country to the other, nothing shorter than that. So the last time I saw them used, it was moving a bunch of army vehicles from Elgin to Salisbury Plain. It's like top of Scotland to basically the south coast. Must have been that turbo that we were following in. Can't put it right that close to the end. I need to stop so I can see the start signal. Thing is though, we are fully platformed. We'll just stop here if it will it accept that? Yep. Doors on the right. I know the HST stop probably is slightly further up, but no, we're not doing that today. Reverse it to neutral. There you go, that is the train secured. So, overall, what were my thoughts on the pack? Really good so far. What we'll do a jump cut and I'll see you guys in Lara Depot. Hello there folks, welcome to Lara Depot. So first thing I've done is whip out the barrier wagons. These are really cool, I like these a lot. These are basically Mark 1 brake goods. Some clamp inside. You can see there's nothing in here. But this is basically just a BG Mark 1. So you can set a handbrake on it if you wanted to. Or clamp back down. Comes in two variants. Blue, which is probably the one I recognise the most from seeing it behind HSTs, to green. So the reason these exist, they've got the Buckeye couplers, and you can basically attach one to the HST using the Buckeye, then drop the Buckeye on the other end, and hook it to a conventional loco. I'll have a look at the HSTs when you get inside properly. So the HSTs themselves, this is all the variants that come with the pack. We'll quickly run through, have a look at them, and go from there. So this is 43093, 111 years of the Old Oak Common. Great Western Legend, so you've got IET, 180 HST, 50. There I get a bit unsure. But yeah, really cool. As I was saying with the barriers, these don't have a buffer, and you can't drop the Buckeye here. Yeah, so you can only basically, you'd attach a Mark 1 here, and then you could use another loco to rescue it. Now we've got 43002, this one we were driving earlier, that we took out of Paddington. 185 here in a city livery, named Great Western. Gorgeous, gorgeous loco. Moving around, you've got 43188 and it's modified Geraint Thomas, the Welshman. And then we've got our last ones here. We've got the regular Welshman, which has got the non-gold on the dragon, so you can see that one's just white at the front with no Geraint Thomas. And this one has Geraint Thomas and a bit of gold on the dragon. Then, lastly for the pack, you've got HST vinyls. So Great Western, you can see, is a vinyl on this, so it's not a 3D asset. Whereas on here, these were bolted on. So there's only a very limited number of the HSTs actually had them bolted on. But yeah, there you go. That is everything that's included in the pack. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Do like it if you did. Subscribe to see more from me on a regular basis. Until next time, from the HST channel, Lara, it's goodbye for me.